I'm Jeremy Hickerson, and this is All of Life. I thought I should explain why I haven't posted in about 3 months. The last post was right before Christmas. It was a Christmas song that a guy out at work and I put together, and that was pretty fun. But the reason I stopped was because about a week before that, a very close friend of mine and a mentor to me, musical mentor, died. He was in his early 70s and had just gone through heart surgery, and he died a few days later. And before, up until that time, I had gone over to his house once a week for about 5 years or so, and worked on my soloing while he played the jazz accompaniment, because he really specialized in Freddie Green accompaniment. And he also taught me a lot about that. Anything I know about Freddie Green style comping is due to George Head. And so I didn't really see that one coming, even though he was old and he had the heart surgery. The fact that he made it through the surgery and I talked to him the day after, and then a few days later he was dead, it just floored me. At the end of January, I lost my friend Dave Paulson, who was the best man in my wedding. He was a year younger than me, and this was from complications after surgery. And that was a stunner. And then in mid-February, I work at Western Oregon University. I'm a computer programmer, and one of our programmers, our best programmer, webmaster, guy who knew all kinds of things about our operation, died suddenly. And he was 48 and didn't seem to be in bad health or anything. Just out of the blue, they announced one morning that he'd had a heart attack the previous night, and he was gone. And so every time I was starting to recover from the last one, it seemed like something else was coming, and I just could not even get my mind into the place where I wanted to do something which seems kind of mundane, like this. And yet, I'm so conscious now of how precious each moment is. If I'm going to be doing this, I better do it now. I decided this fall that I would get serious about trying to do YouTube posts once a week, and I did that pretty good until the end of December. And so I just couldn't really get back into it again, though. I couldn't write in the same way. I've been doing a kind of a weekly writing routine on weekends. And I was also changing my approach, trying to write fiction instead of, I guess you'd call it creative nonfiction, which I've been doing the last couple of years, finishing up a memoir, which I hadn't really even conceived of as a memoir. It just happened to be true. And so trying to learn this new approach kind of slowed me down anyway and changed my process. And then I just wasn't in a creative place. It seemed almost like some of this stuff just didn't even matter anymore. And yet again, if we're here, if this is what we think we should be doing, we better get to it, because the time is passing by each moment. And so finally, with this virus, the coronavirus situation, where I'm basically holed up in my house, my wife has been living with her mother since September, taking care of her, as her mother's been diagnosed with ALS. And my wife has not been able to come home for a couple months now. And so I would go out to visit. And now with the coronavirus, that might not be a good idea unless I can test that I don't have it, So basically, I was looking for something to do, and I thought, okay, I'll post some short guitar licks, and that kind of got me started again. And I did that yesterday, and I felt pretty good about it. And it was not to the same level of complication as some of my other posts, to the same level of planning, and it was fun, and it was short, and so that kind of got me going again. So anyway, I think I'll be back I think I'll be posting, and just trying to figure out what to do with this time I have left, as I'm sitting here at 59 years old, and I've seen a couple people around me that didn't even make it that far. Not that there's any, not that anybody has any guarantees. All right, thanks for listening. If you liked this, it won't always be this somber. It won't always be about music. It won't always be anything in particular. It's just, as I call my channel, all of life. I try to integrate that in my own self and in my writing. And so if you like this, please click like. If you are interested in more, please subscribe. Thank you for watching.